5 hidden signs that you are depressed and what to do about it. Number 1. You get in this space where you don't want to talk to nobody. It doesn't matter who it is, it could be your favorite person. You're not feeling to have any types of conversation. People are calling you and you're not answering the phone. It's because you're just in this headspace where overthinking is taking over. And once it starts taking over, it's literally one of those ones where nobody can make their way in because the thoughts are taking over. There's no room for nobody else to actually enter that door. So imagine it like you're in a room and there's chaos going on in that room. There's loads of things happening in that room and there's no room for anybody else to enter. That's exactly what it's like. Number 2, anxiety starts to show. So you start getting anxious, especially if you're a person that does not get anxious at all. You'll start to notice you might go to the shop and this anxiety starts to show. Everyone's looking at me. Oh, what's happening? Oh, I'm not quite sure. Oh, should I do this? I'm not. You'll start to get those jittery anxiety feelings and they'll start to basically take over to the point of number 3. You don't want to leave the house no more. Gets to the point of where you don't want to leave the house, you don't want to interact with nobody, you're anxious, and now you don't want to leave the house. So now you start ordering stuff to the home, whether that's delivery, Just Eat, or whatever delivery platforms you have where you live. You'll start to order those things because you don't want no one to see you. You don't want to interact with anybody because the way you're feeling, the way your thoughts are thinking, anytime that you will interact with somebody, it's going to be one of those ones where you're going to start overthinking. You're going to think they're looking at you in a specific way. Oh, maybe they're talking about me. All of these things start to spiral because that depression itself is taking over. Number 4, you start to eat disgustingly. You know you're not eating well. You know that you're supposed to be eating a lot more healthier than you are, but you just can't help it. So you're eating bags of crisps, you're eating all of these highly processed foods, junk foods, things like that, or you're not eating at all. And that's not good for you either. Yes, fasting can be great for a small period of time, but if you're doing it and you're expanding too much on that, then we know it's not going to be good for the body because the body needs nutrition, it needs vitamins, it needs all of these things in order for it to be at its optimal levels. So then this sets you in a vicious cycle because the stomach and the brain are connected. So if you're feeding the stomach all of these things that are no good for you, and the solar plexus, which is the emotional space, is sitting within that digestive system, within that stomach, then what happens? You're feeding the emotions that it's not serving it. Feeding emotions that are not serving it. Now you're feeding it food that's not serving it. Now it's going up the vagus nerve to the brain and it's spiraling back down with all these overthinking thoughts that are now feeding back to your stomach, and this vicious cycle just keeps going. So you need to get yourself out of that vicious cycle. Number 5. So you're not cleaning your home like you should be. Your home's in chaos. You're not washing plates. You're probably not even showering your own self because you're such in this space of overthinking, anxiety, you're not feeding yourself right. You're not going out no more, so you're not getting that fresh air and the oxygen that your body needs in order for you to feel great. So now you're home suffering. Now you're suffering because you're not even doing what you're supposed to be doing for self. You probably look a bit disheveled. You probably don't look your greatest at that moment in time. So what can you do about it? 3 things that you can do about it are moving the body. Yes, I know it's going to be one of them ones where you don't feel like doing it, but you're going to have to push yourself to do it. Even if it's 5 to 10 minutes a day, start by moving the body, doing some yoga. If you don't want to do yoga, dance. Put some music on and just dance. This is going to allow the body to shift all that energy that's inside the body and push it out of the body. It's going to allow you to release this energy, this stagnant energy, and all this built up, pent up, depressing energy that's sitting in the body. Number 2, start eating right. Start getting yourself some smoothies, some fruits, drink more water. get more oxygen to the brain. Obviously the movements will do this, but also drinking enough water would also do this. Yes, you can have fresh juices, just some fresh fruits, just something that's going to give your body the greatest chance of having that nutritional value so you can feel better. Number 3, go out for a walk, even if it's around the block, 10, 15 minutes, half an hour. Go and stretch your legs, because this movement is going to move what's going on inside the mind. I use that method a lot because I like to walk. When I am thinking in that overthinking state, or I find myself sinking in that depressive state, I decide to go for a walk, because I've noticed that it allows me to configure what's going on inside the brain. So it allows me to shift things into compartments that it needs to be in, or rid myself of the things that not serving me at that time. They're actually making me more anxious. They're actually making me into that state of more overthinking. So I decide to walk, and it just reconfigures everything that's going on inside of my mind, and now it starts to make sense.